Yeah, your hair looks great. Hello and good evening, everybody. You are back live with the crew. Tonight, we have our two guests from the other night, Attila and Edward. We also have the creator of Go Baby Trader and tonight, and Mr. Ed Barsano. We are going to go through this, and we're going to go step by step to really kind of catch you guys up to speed as to who this man is, how he created it, and what he created, and maybe even get to some of the questions in the chat because people have been playing with it for a week or two, and it's going to be probably a lengthy show. So hang in there.
I got two bottles of water. I'm ready. I'm ready to go 3 hours.
Yeah, this show is sponsored by Smart Water.
It's always Smart Water. That's right. Yeah. So Edward, what can you say about this man that maybe hasn't already been said? What do you got?
Well,
here?
Yep.
Keep it clean. This is a family show.
Yeah. Well, your audience heard a little bit from me and Attila last week, and I'll just say hello and thank you again for allowing us to share what this beautiful tool this gentleman has created over the last 25 years. I'll give you just a teeny bit of background for the new folks on this week. I was 32 years a federal agent. I got out in 2017. People ask me what agency do you work for, and the answer is yes. So the little bit of superpower that I bring to this is as you all know, you're way above average intellect as far as audience and folks that we normally speak with. Because of the education that the Stable Crew has provided. But my little superpower is I know what the Matrix is up to and have for decades, particularly as it involves your money and your distraction and all of the things that you guys are smarter than the average bear about, right? So with that, there's a lot of things that I see come across, and I don't watch a lot of news. Just that's part of the distraction piece. But financial intelligence for you, who is in the background supporting with myself and Attila as a co-leader. We are supporting this in the background. Ed is Robert Redford, who gets to talk about what he's done for the last 50 years.
You mean I'm dead already?
Is it your complexion? I meant the alive version of him.
Come on, you so Grant or something. Yeah.
So Cary Grant's dead too. But financial intelligence came spawned out of my background, in that financial intelligence for the number 4, the letter U, as you see in the background, is all about teaching people what they don't know that they don't know about the scam system of the current finance system. And then once you realize that the sky is falling, then you go, well, the first question I get is why would the government do that? Now, you guys out there would think it's just a silly question as I did. And like, if you're even formulating that sentence, you are part of the programming, right? And then on the other side, when they understand that they've been duped to go to school, get a job, and trade time for money for somebody else to keep you just over broke or job, then you realize that, oh, wait a second, that's not cool. And you may be 40, 50, 60, and just now realizing that, or have realized it. And then once we get there, then your mind's open to what are the things that you need to know in the new digital money revolution. And from there, that's how we're here. Then I'll quickly turn it over to Mr. Attila Hevesy, my good friend and business partner, also part of financial intelligence. And he's got a much longer background, although I feel like I've known Ed for decades as well. One of the biggest sweethearts on the planet, from humble humility, from a perspective of exactly why you're here and exactly why we all love Alan as well. And you're part of the Stable Crew, because we're here to serve others, right? And that's you'll be fascinated with Ed's background as well as Attila's background. So I'm going to step back. I want to say thank you for being here with us. We're going to provide some information to you tonight that will allow you to prosper further. And then in the background, we're here if you have any questions. And we'll probably do this once or twice or 27 times more. So with that, Attila.
Awesome, Edward. Thank you. And Alan, thank you so much for inviting us back. Folks, you've made a really good decision for being here, because we've got something so interesting that's not available anywhere else on planet Earth. And my background is purely financial. I don't want to bore you with the details. Let's fast forward to 5 years ago, September of 2020. I had the time and the desire to be proactively getting into learning all I can about the digital money revolution, blockchain, DeFi, crypto, AI, etc. Best move I ever made by far. But Edward said he had a superpower. My superpower is I met our special guest here on the bottom left of your screen 13 years ago. And a real quick story. I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about how I met this gentleman. And as a result, we're all here tonight, which is pretty cool. But you know, there's major disruptions in history. You know, it started with the cell phone, disrupted the home phone and the payphone industry. Very big disruption. And then Netflix disrupted Blockbuster. I think somewhere in the world there's one Blockbuster store left somewhere. That's a fact. I don't know where it is, but very disruptive technology. Then my parents always said, never get in a stranger's car. 15 years ago, everybody started getting in strangers' cars. Uber and Lyft.
No more hitchhiking?
No, that went out the window. So another disruption. And now we have the biggest, most gigantic disruption of all, which is this digital money revolution. And why is it the biggest? Because what is it disrupting? It's disrupting money. It's disrupting the global financial system in a good way. But within that disruption, we bring you this man, Ed Barsano, who created something 25 years ago that allows us to not gamble and just make money in our sleep. So it's a beautiful thing. So Mr. Barsano's background, he was in the Navy, got out of the Navy, was one of the first 300 people hired directly by Bill Gates several years after getting out of the Navy at Microsoft. And he did very well there for 9 years, was the lead programmer on most projects that needed to get done and bring something to the world that's never been done before. And he retired a young man under the age of 40, and he was bored to death. And unfortunately, in 2000, lost his shirt. I say unfortunately, but really it's a very fortunate thing that happened, because as a result, he created what he created and launched in 2000 and 2001. So
well, that sums me up. I'll see you, folks.
Yeah. But he'll tell you how he felt after that event in 2000. And I'll let him describe that, but that led to where we are today. But anyway, the long and short of it is he set out to help the average person not gamble anymore and not feel like they got robbed like he did, and created the world's first totally robotic autonomous stock market trader back in 2000 and 2001 is when he launched it. He did very well with this. I met him in 2012 as a result of a mutual friend's introduction. I sat down with Ed, and it took about 15-20 minutes before I said, Ed, stop talking. I want to buy this license. I've always wanted to make money. That was actually the question my friend asked me. Attila, how'd you like to make money in the stock market without doing anything? I said, come again? I don't think that's possible. He said, it is. Yeah. I met a man, you got to meet him. So that's how it all came about. I bought the trader, used it. It was remarkable. Think about this, folks. This is 25 years ago. This is amazing. What I'm about to describe is amazing today. Imagine in 2001. So you had to download some software back then. It was a little cumbersome back then. It took 60 to 90 minutes. But once that was done, this thing turned itself on at 9:30 in the morning when the stock market opened up, traded for you all day long. And at 4 p.m. it shut down. And it did this 100% unattended, meaning you could be on a plane from LA to New York and this thing's making money for you. And when the stock went down, it bought more at a lower price. So people were just blown away and bewildered that this thing even existed. And Ed teamed up with a marketing company in 2012 when I met him. And for 2 years, during those 2 years, they sold $16 million worth of licenses. But then he ended up going back to protect his brand, and he went solo. 2018, sold out to a hedge fund who had previously actually purchased many, many licenses from him. And then some of his clients from back in 2010, 2012 started reaching out to Ed and say, Ed, why don't you develop a trader for crypto like you had one for the stock market? And he was busy and he really didn't pay attention, but finally he did decide to do just that. Now the story shifts slightly here, where a year and a half ago, March of 24, I think I explained I've been full-time in this 5 years, but that was 3.5 years in. I said, I've got a great crypto portfolio, but I'm a cash flow guy. How do I safely and securely protect my funds and have my crypto grow more crypto? And it took me a full day, but it hit me. I said, I forgot about my friend Ed Barsano. I'll bet my life that somewhere along the line, he created a trader for the crypto market. So I reached out to him. I still had his number. We connected for 3 hours, and he confirmed that he did that, and he launched it in April of 21. And he said, Attila, as soon as I launched this, I said, this is light years ahead of the stock trader. And I said, how come? And he said, 4 compelling reasons. Now listen carefully, folks, because this is very important. Number one, he said, you need the most volatility possible, whether you're trading stocks, Forex, precious metals, crypto. It's got to be the most volatile market. And he said, Attila, there's no asset class on planet Earth with more volatility than crypto. I said, absolutely, you're right. And he said, stocks trade 5 days a week, 6 hours a day. Crypto's 24/7, 365. Big advantage. I agreed again. But number 3 and number 4 is what really got me. I mean, floored me. He said, Attila, it's not downloadable software anymore. It's web-based. And I didn't know what that meant. I said, Ed, what does that mean? He said, I could connect you live to your Coinbase when you buy the license, and you could be live in 9-10 minutes. I said, well, let's do it. I bought the license on the spot, and in about 8 to 9 minutes, I was connected live to my Coinbase account trading. I wasn't trading, my trader was trading. And the fourth thing was really the most important thing when the light bulb went off and said, boy, this is a beautiful thing. He said, Attila, I created an API connection whereby this trader connects to your own Coinbase, your own Kraken account, your choice, but you control your funds 1,000% of the time. Now, folks, in the previous 3.5 years, I'm embarrassed to say I had lost a lot of crypto as a result of 5 different blockchain crypto cash flow projects I got into. Why did I lose those monies? Because I didn't control my crypto. It was at a third-party exchange or wallet. When things went south, I couldn't get to my money. Not so here. You control, we control our monies 1,000% of the time. So before I introduce Ed, I wanted to just ask everybody to keep 2 things at the forefront of your mind. Number one, when we say tonight, or Ed says, it's set it and forget it. Folks, take that literally. Once you're live in 10 minutes or less, you don't need to interact with this at all. There's no screen time. This is not copy trading. Now, obviously, most people are going to look at their trader and look at it to see if it's taking any money for them or what it's doing, but you don't have to interact. It is literally set it and forget it. The second thing that's the most important is please understand what this man has brought forth to the world, okay? It's amazing. It's never been done before. Never. When I say he leveled the playing field in 2000, 2001, what I mean is without anybody being an accredited investor, without anybody knowing anything about trading, without anyone knowing anything about crypto, you hardly have to know anything about computers. You could now automate a portion of your financial life and literally make money in your sleep. What did Warren Buffett say? He's famous for saying the following: if you're not making money in your sleep, You're going to work till you die. So we have a platform here that you could take advantage of with as little or as much money as you'd like. You could simulate with it whatever you want and make money in your sleep. So Edward, did you want me to get back to you real quick for the simulation account, or just go right to Ed?
Yeah, let's just go right to Ed and let him. We'll do it in reverse. We normally show my trader as it pertains to what you'll hear us talk about as the $1 billion report, and Ed will make that make sense. But yeah, let's just get into the meat of it and let
you got it.
Fast Eddie Barsinister get busy.
So Ed Barsano, thanks so much for joining us, and so glad we reconnected a year and a half ago. You have blessed a lot of people's lives. If you don't mind sharing your genesis of how this happened and what happened to you in that stock market crash, and what you decided to do about it, and what you brought forth to the world.
Great. Awesome. All right. Thank you, Alan. Thank you for letting me speak to your audience. I appreciate that. You know, I've talked to a lot of audiences, and I've looked at a lot of screens that, these screen sharing software and all that, right? And yours is unique, because I don't know if other people know, but it's got a sign right in front of my face that says, "You're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you." It's like, I never thought about that. There's a million people out there looking at me.
Yeah.
It's kind of intimidating. The other, I wanted to start with, people call me a genius, but I drink smart water. That's the reason I'm so smart. But I have my Apple 101. Edward calls it
the Apple iPad version
101 here. That I usually take notes when the other speakers are speaking to see if I had any comments about that. And the first thing that I did catch, Attila, you said that this audience is way above the average.
Oh, I said that.
All right.
He said that.
And you know what?
I told him to say that.
Oh, yeah. I told him to say that.
No, you didn't.
No, I can tell you why I believe that. Because of how many people signed up already from just hearing about Go Baby Trade. And then if you go to YouTube, other people have already posted from your group. And I've already talked to about a half a dozen of your clients in the last few days.
Cool.
And I think that's remarkable, that you guys are really into it, man. You're on it. You're not beating around the bush. Sometimes I'll talk to somebody for 6 months, and I'm not a salesman. It's just that I like talking. I like talking about the border, the vaccines, you name it, I'll talk about it. I got a lot of stuff to say about everything in the world that's going on. I'm very opinionated.
Well, we can talk about that now. We couldn't talk about that.
Right. Yeah. I'm careful about. First, I listen to what your side is before I say anything, because you may be on the opposite side of the spectrum. Anyways, and then the other thing I just caught Attila said, he said the most important thing. And as soon as you said that, before you even said another word, I was thinking, wow, what is the most important thing about this trader? There's it's millions of lines of code. It runs on racks of servers, and I'm thinking, what is the most important thing? It's all so critically important if you're going to conquer the market. I mean, this is a thinking machine. It's got AI in it for the last 25 years. I always had AI in it. I never bragged about the AI. I was doing AI at Microsoft in '89. I've been doing it forever. To me, AI is a bell and a whistle. It's a nice add-on, but the trader is the star of the dish. The trader and the decisions it's making. It can call AI and ask what AI thinks, but the final decision is the trader itself. The money management, the risk management, knowing when to get in, when to get out. Do you agree with me, AI? Are we going to debate? And the auto trader will actually go back and forth with the AI and argue with it. It's pretty remarkable. So when you say, what's the most important thing? I'm like, man, I spent thousands of hours doing that. There's everything's important. Conquering the market is critically important. And one of the most important things really is the public. Their mental attitude about the market is you would be surprised how many people think that they're sitting in front of a craps table playing the market, trading the market. And I don't look at the market like it's gambling at all. There's no gambling in this system. It's the decisions it's making. I mean, it's making all the decisions by itself. So, so it's seeing chaos being thrown at it, from the brokers to the clients doing things. The data feeds are coming in, missing digits, and you'd be surprised the problems you have with data feeds. And then the software's got to recognize that, whoa, this data feed's got an issue here. I'm not going to let the auto trader use that data. Let's switch over to this other data feed. So it's got a lot of repetition going on. It's got a lot of corruption in terms of the way the orders are out there. I don't know if some of you may know what a limit order is. When you place a limit order at the exchange, the professional traders are actually looking at your orders, and they're literally trading based on your orders only. And they're also, so like if you say, I want to sell if the price goes here, the professional traders will sell their coins right below your goal, and they'll start buying and selling right under you. And they'll literally dry up all the buyers so it never hit your goal, and it'll turn down instead. So what that's doing is, that's why it doesn't, you notice that, where you notice it almost hits your goal and then turns around and goes down. You say, it almost got there. Well, that's because you showed your cards in a poker game, and they're rude enough to look at your cards. They're rude enough to take advantage of you. And, there's a lot of crooks out there in that regard. They think, well, it's public information. And so my auto traders hide all that data all the way back since 2001. I started right out. When I was sitting in 2000, right at the beginning of 2001, I was sitting in a day trading house. It's called a prop house, where professional traders trading, and they're sitting at all these desks. And I bought some Microsoft, and then I'm very vocal. You might be able to tell. And, and I said, hey, I bought some Microsoft here. How do I know when to sell it? I just threw that out into the air to see who would respond to that. And somebody came walking up on my right shoulder here, and he said, it's easy. You see that guy's order right there? Sell it right under him. Man, as soon as I saw that, I said, whoa. Rule number 1, hide your orders. Do
now
not.
You have market manipulation 101.
Yep, 101, market manipulation 101. Hide those orders. So the auto trader is tracking everything it's doing, but it's not putting it out there publicly. Nobody knows what you're doing. Even the broker, the exchange, they don't know what you're doing. They just see orders coming at it. Buy this many of this, buy this many of that, sell this many of that. They don't know what you're doing. They just see orders flying at them, and they're doing it. They don't even know what you're doing. They just see orders. So where do we go from here?
Not to mention,
let's see. I covered Genius. Pardon me?
Not to mention the stop loss nightmare.
Oh yeah, that's a fiasco if I ever saw. And you're floating that in public view too,
I know,
which is really deadly. I mean, that's the worst. I mean, we have no stop loss in this system, man. No way. I'm not selling something at a loss. I mean, if you're selling, they literally teach that stuff in classes. If your stock is down 3%, if your position is down 3%, sell it at a loss. Let the winners run and cut your losers, and all these, what do they call those cliches or whatever that they throw out there? It's all baloney. It's like, no way. I never sell at a loss, and I've got that market trapped, man. I've got that coin trapped. It can't go up a little bit without selling and taking profit. It can't go down a little without buying more. And wherever they want to go, I'm trading. Wherever they want to go, it's just keep taking money. I'm like the tax man. And, you can't put that on the internet, of course, that you're like the tax man. The government will probably step in and say he's not allowed to collect taxes. I mean, that's how dumb they are. But yeah, we hide everything, and the auto traders, we've got the market trapped, and there's nothing they can do. So the way this whole thing started, I'll tell you, Attila skipped over a lot of my career. I joined the Navy right out of high school, and I wanted to be an electrician, but because my grandfather was one, and And it turned out I was colorblind. Who knew? I always thought my nieces and nephews just didn't know their colors. You know, I heard my sister one time yell out of the kitchen because my niece said, Uncle Eddie said this is brown. And my sister yelled out, quit messing with the kids, Eddie. And I'm looking at them like, it is brown. Your kids don't know their colors. So anyways, when I went in the Navy, you know, so they threw me in data processing instead.
Well, wait a minute. You had a choice, right?
I had a choice. They said, you can be a postal clerk based on this test you took, or you can go into data processing. I took a data processing class in high school. So
thank goodness for us.
Data processing. I'll try data processing. Wow, did I find my career. Changed my life forever. So I did that for 8 years. Then I went to nuclear engineering for the government. And like Edward said, don't ask me what I programmed. To me, it's all just code. But you know, but it was in.
I hope it wasn't the red button because it's brown to you.
It's all the same to me. It's a database.
The green and the red one looks the same. Not good.
It's a database and it's screens, you know. So it's all the same to me. So then I went to Microsoft for another 9 years, and that was a blast. But I did what everybody normally does, you know, when you think you're working for money, and which is what most people think their whole life. So, you know, I had millions of dollars, and I said, you know, retire before 40 has a nice ring to it, so I'm going to quit just before I turned 40. Then I was retired for 5 years, and boy, was I bored. Believe me. I'm like, wow, I can see why people die after they retire. You know, I always thought they were dying of old age. No, they're dying of boredom. You know, you can only go, you know, I mean, I tried some golfing, hanging out on a golf course, and some people fish and stuff. Yeah, it's like, what do you do when you're retired? I mean, I was in great shape, jogging every day, 5 miles, take a dip in the pool. Then you want to drive your Jaguar into a wall. It's like, what am I doing? You know, but when the market crashed in 2000, I was reborn. I said, you picked on the wrong guy, baby. I'm going to hurt you for this. And I don't know whose you is, but I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to automate this market, and I'm going to prove it's just numbers going up and down. You can see that looking at any chart. You can see it's just numbers doing this. And with proper money management and risk management, you can just rake free money out of the market. I always feel like this is criminal what I'm doing, but I'm not violating any laws. Nobody said you can't buy something. Don't cough like that, Edward. But it does feel criminal. You know, I'm sure the FBI would have something to say about what I'm doing, but I'm not really violating any laws. Nobody said you can't buy something at one price and sell it at a higher price. Just because I'm doing proper money management, you know, and that's the only difference. So what is the difference? Because this comes up. What's the difference between a bot and Go Baby Trade? That's because some people they used to call this a bot. And it kind of irked me when they said that, because it's like, I've never had a competitor in 25 years. So where's all these bots just popping up all of a sudden in the last couple of years? I'm like, there's no way these guys are where I'm at. I'm 25 years in. My AI has been running for 25 years. It's like a 25-year-old competing with a 1-year-old. They don't have a prayer, man. They don't even know what they don't know. Their AI doesn't even know what it doesn't know, because if it hasn't seen it, it doesn't know it. AI is a learning system. It's pattern recognition. You can't recognize it if you never saw it. And the stuff that my AI recognizes is very obscure things that they don't see. It's not like you can just look at some data today and it's and you're gonna be able to create AI that's gonna be smart enough to be able to respond to that, to stuff that happened over the last 25 years. So my AI is like a genius. You know, they're coming out with these bots, these robots and stuff that are getting really almost like human-like, right? That's not the stock market or the crypto market, believe me. Anybody can do that stuff. And I shouldn't say anybody could do it. I couldn't do what they're doing with the robotic robots and stuff. I admit what they're doing is pretty complex, but they didn't just create that overnight either. They took years to get where they're at. So these bots that are popping up, the difference though between a bot, I did a little research on this, and Go Baby Trade is a bot is making individual trades. So it made a trade. It bought something. It said, I'm going to buy, just like the way most people think. You buy something, they buy it, and what are they thinking? What are you? Stop and think about yourself, all by yourself. When you make a purchase, what are you thinking? You're thinking it's going to go up. That's what most people think. The auto trader is the opposite. The auto trader says, this thing's going to crash. Here's why I like these smart water bottles. It's a great prop. It's a big bottle. When you buy it up here, you're thinking it's going to go up. So your natural instinct, which is what most people do, is they want all their money and invest it up here. But the auto trader says, when I buy it, I'm only going to put my toe in the water up here and see where the market goes. Let's see if it goes up or if it goes down. And then the software will respond to that. And the software is planning, it's doing its money management, thinking this coin's going to drop 90%. This thing is, I'm ready. As soon as I bought it, everything looked rosy today. But you know what? This coin's going to drop 90%. I'm looking for the worst. I'm looking for blood in the streets. That's what the software's thinking when it makes a purchase. It's not thinking this is going to go up. If it goes up, there's nothing to think about. Anybody can make money then. It goes up, sell it. That doesn't take any genius at all to sell something at a profit. What do you do when it goes down? This is where, if you know how to handle losers, then you're a winner. And the software knows how to handle losers.
Amen.
And so it's always trading no matter where that price goes. I call this a 7-Eleven without the bricks and mortar. I don't have to hire people. I don't have to have a building. I don't have to have inventory shipped to my store, stock the shelves. I mean, I don't have to do any of that stuff, and then have somebody sitting at the register, cashing people out. I don't have to worry about cameras. Are they stealing? You know that's going on left and right. You know, it's funny. I asked my kids. My youngest daughter's a lawyer, and I asked her, "Would you ever think about like stealing like lipstick? It's just small. I mean, lipstick is like this big, right?" I've never talked about this stuff, so you guys are, you're hearing new stuff because I run by the seat of my pants. But I asked her, would you ever steal lipstick or like chewing gum or something? It's beyond her comprehension that you would ever do that. Isn't that amazing? I'm from Chicago. It's not beyond my comprehension. Sorry, man. I grew up in the 60s. Anyways, I'm not a thief, though. Don't think that, okay? But there's a lot of people out there that will leave you bleeding in the street, leave you in a gutter, steal every dollar you have. And that's the market. That's how the whales are. The whales, the wealthy, they want all the money. The Trump Family Foundation, they're sitting on $7 billion worth of crypto. Why? Do you need that much? And he knows he's going to turn that $7 billion into $70 billion. And you know how much crypto he wants you owning? Zero. Why do you think these coins are dropping like they're dropping all this last week? Because there's good news coming next Tuesday, and that's going to drive this market higher. We're getting ready to rumble. We are getting ready to have, what do you say? What's a good word for that? I can't think of anything, rumble in the city or whatever, There used to be something like that. Wrestling or something. Anyways.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Ready to rumble.
Yeah, something like that. But this market's getting ready to rumble. And, you can tell because the coins are dropping a lot every day for no reason. There's no negative news out there. Attila, you're really getting dark there. You're slowly sinking into a cave.
The abyss.
You're scaring me. I'm worried for you, man. But that's the difference between a bot and a fully robotic trader that's been running 25 years. This is a lot of code. It's a lot of programs feeding the code. And because it all runs on my servers, you have a huge advantage. My old software that Attila talked about used to run on your PC. And when that software ran, people used to complain that they can't even open their email because the software is just eating up all the computing resources on their computer, So I used to get a lot of complaints there. And because it runs on my servers, the auto trader can sit there and just stalk the market looking for money. That's all your auto trader is doing. If you really get down to it, it's just looking for money. The other programs are feeding it data. So the software itself doesn't have to go to the World Wide Web to get stuff. It doesn't have to think about that stuff. AI is handling that. The data feeds are handled somewhere, other programs. The auto trader's just sitting there looking for money. And so that's what's going on there. That's the power of running it on my servers. And that's why it took a lot of years to build them. I have a multi-million-dollar infrastructure. And I've never had any competitors. That's the amazing thing. And every time a competitor, like someone that you might think might be a competitor, pops up, they last a few months and then they disappear. They go out of business because I make the screens look so easy that they think, well, I could do that. It's like, no, you can't. You have no idea what's going on on the back end, behind the scenes. So that's why it's funny when Attila said what's the most important thing. I'm like, boy, there's a lot of important things going on. So anyways, I wanted to compare a bot and Go Baby Trade. There is no comparison at all. And Attila always emphasizes, which he didn't emphasize this week yet, but he says, set it and forget it. And he means that. You were adamant about don't change the strategy, don't touch anything. And I get what you're saying. And I always used to debate with you on that. It's like, go ahead and make a few changes. The thing is, I realized something. I know everything intimately, what's going on inside the software, what you see and what you see on the screen, and externally what's really going on and all that. So I'm always like, go ahead and make changes. What the heck? Yeah, that's okay for me.
No.
But if you go in there and start making changes, the auto trader is really going to act on everything you do. There's no joke with those settings. There's only a small screen of settings. You think they're not that important, and boy, are they. I mean, they could make, my ear's been itching for a couple of days up here. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can talk about that. But yeah, it is. You really don't want to make too many changes. Be careful about when you make changes to the trader, because
Hey, Ed, just one
you
comment
can
on
cripple
that.
the trader.
Ed, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, my philosophy on that is, knowing you as long as I do, and knowing the 10 pages of settings that you programmed into
In the old system.
And I saw the damage that people did to themselves by touching those. So today, years and years later, you've got 24 years of optimized. Those settings are optimized over 24 years. Why change a winning combo, folks? If you're a masochist or you want to lose money, go ahead and change the settings.
Start pushing buttons. See how it goes.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got a car. Are you going to get a screwdriver and go in there and start turning the screw on the carburetor? I don't know. Do young people know what a carburetor is?
No.
A carburetor is where you're messing with the fuel to oxygen mixture. You really wouldn't do that. You'd probably blow up your car.
I thought that was on a water pipe. Was a carburetor. I didn't know
That's a good one.
I didn't know you were talking about cars. Yeah.
Yeah. Do they still have them? I don't know. They don't have carburetors anymore, do they? It's all like, I don't know what's inside of an engine anymore. Now, every time I open up the hood on a car, all I see is this big block. You remember the old days when we used to see the carburetor and the solenoid and, the starter. You don't see that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Do they still have starters?
Yeah, I still have starters. Well, I don't know. Teslas might not.
I don't know what they have. Yeah.
Hey, Ed, are you able to, a really good visual that you have, if you have a moment, whenever you feel it's appropriate, bring up that bucket in the well. Yeah, that is such a good visual.
Yeah, that's critical to talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can make
I only had one more item on my checklist here that I wrote today while you were talking. Why only Coinbase and Kraken? Okay, because Coinbase and Kraken are U.S.-based exchanges, and when I first started looking at cryptos 5 years ago, I noticed other exchanges around the world disappearing. They would just steal all the money. And I'm like, I can't have my money in there. I don't even want to put my money in there, let alone anybody else's. It's like, I can't risk that. I've got people with millions of dollars running these auto traders. I have people who their life savings is in these auto traders. Their entire lives, people are dependent on me. And I'm okay with that. I'm completely at ease with the market and with the software. I've been doing this 25 years. Nobody's getting hammered. We're all just cleaning up. We're just constantly taking money, taking almost every day of your life. Free money forever. I'm confident that you're not going to get hammered. Now, with the old system, we had 10 screens, as Attila said, of things you could change. What I used to call it 10 screens of ways to blow yourself up. And believe me, people were blowing themselves up. They were gambling. And I took all that stuff away. I moved all the technical indicators. And you guys, if you don't have it, you guys are a smart group. You probably already have this book. It's called Technical Analysis from A to Z. You can go to eBay and buy it. Technical Analysis from A to Z. It shows you each coin, what is the setting that would be, if it was this setting, is it bullish or is it bearish? What is the setting? That's all I moved all the 27 indicators into the AI. And that's a separate program, multiple programs that build all that. And they're learning every minute. Each auto trader, thousands of auto traders every minute are actually writing data to files that the AI is reading off when it trains, when it goes into training mode. And when it goes into training mode, some of you may be programming AI, it literally takes a few months for it to train on all that data. There's terabytes of data that it's training on. And it's so brilliant. It can tell me with 98% accuracy if a coin's going to go higher or lower in the next few minutes. So the auto trader is constantly, when the auto trader gets ready to make a trade, before it makes the trade, if it say it's going to buy, say the coin went lower and it's getting, and the auto trader says, I want to buy more now because it's 3% lower from my last buy. It'll call the AI and say, do you think, I don't know why I always point to the right when I'm talking about the AI. You know what I mean? Like it's over there. In my mind, I can visualize where all these things are. So on the, it calls the AI. I'm always saying crazy stuff, Alan.
I love it.
But it calls the AI and it asks it, do you think it's going to go lower? And the AI can say with like 98% accuracy, yeah, it's going to go lower in the next few minutes. So the auto trader will wait then and not buy it, and it'll let the price go lower, and then it'll keep calling the AI. Do you think it's going to go lower? Do you think it's going to go lower? And then eventually it's going to call the AI, and the AI is going to say, no, I don't think it's going to go lower now. And it's going to be, unless it's 95% confident that it's going to go lower, the auto trader is not going to accept the answer. It's got to be at least 95% confident. Years ago, that was 30%, 25 years ago. But the AI kept getting smarter and smarter, and I could see it getting smarter. So I kept raising the threshold in the software. Now it's like 90, unless you're 95% confident, I'm not interested in your answer. So as soon as the AI doesn't think it's going to go lower, the software goes ahead and buys. Same thing on the buy side, a separate AI. If the price is going higher and the software wants to take profit now, it'll call another AI and it'll say, do you think it's going to go higher? And if the AI doesn't think it's going to go higher within the next 20 or 30 minutes, then it goes ahead and takes takes the profit. So AI cannot predict what it's going to do tomorrow.
No.
It's not forecasting. It's looking at pattern recognition. It's saying, I've seen this pattern a million times. I'm 98% sure of this answer. It can't predict what a coin's going to do tomorrow because tomorrow is random. Literally, the market. If you had a crystal ball that told you what a coin was going to do tomorrow, you'd be richer than Warren Buffett and Bill Gates combined. Right. And Elon Musk. Throw him in there too, because I'd be the richest guy on the planet if I knew what a coin was going to do tomorrow. You don't have that, so we don't have that luxury, and we don't need it anyways.
Yeah, you're just trading probabilities. You're doing your best you can. Yeah.
And with money management, proper money management. So because you never know, even if the auto trader is if the AI is 98% sure of something, you're still going to be wrong sometimes. The coin's still going to go the other way. And if it does, that's where the money management comes in to make sure you never run out of money. And that's the biggest problem. I literally get 3 emails a day where people say, I want my auto trader using more of my money. I want to be all in. And then I ask them, why do you want to do that?
No, you don't
Because
want
if you went all in 4 years ago, like Alchemy Pay, ACH, it was at 12 cents a share. If you went all in at 12 cents, that coin is sitting at 1.7 cents right now. You'd be jumping out of a window by now. I mean, you'd be like miserable. Well, I mean, you're not doing it. You're not making any money. All your money's tied up there. It's kind of like buying a silver dollar. We got lucky in the last few months. Silver started taking off. But what did it do for the last 25 years? It wasn't moving at all. It was just going down and then up and down and then up. And if you're just sitting with silver dollars in your drawer, you're not even trading at all. That's just dead money to me. You're just sitting there. You're missing 1,000 trades a year. You could be buying and selling. Just trade SLV in the stock market. Anyways, I am going to show you. I was teaching a class on AI programming in North Carolina. And I drew a pic. I saw a whiteboard, and I'm a magnet. I'm like Ellen. I'm a magnet to a whiteboard. I went. You see a whiteboard, you got to walk up to it, right?
Oh man, my favorite.
So I saw this whiteboard, and I was thinking, there's 80 people in here. They're all programmers. They must know what they're doing. So I drew a picture of a bucket and a well. Let's see. I'm going to try to share my screen. I'm going to say entire screen. Click on that and share. And then do you have to give me permission?
Yep.
Yep. Let's see.
Let's see where it's going to pop up. This is the new system for me. Came up right in the middle.
Uh-oh.
Right. Wow.
Whoa.
All right.
Were we required to take mushrooms before we got here?
That is not what we want.
No, Ed, I don't think you can share the entire screen.
Oh, wait. It's another window. I could have clicked up there in the corner.
Okay.
I'm here. Let's go here.
There it is.
Now we can see
There it
All
is.
right. Sorry. So that was a trip. Were you required to take mushrooms? That's funny. That's a good one.
Mushrooms are optional.
I never tried that. It probably wouldn't. I imagine they wouldn't taste good.
No.
Not the point.
So I drew this bucket and a well, and I asked the audience. I said, if it's water, and the bucket has to go from the top to the bottom and get the water, and then go all the way back up. If it's water, it's got to go from the top to the bottom, get the water, go all the way back up and dump it out. It can't go halfway and go back up. There'd be no water when it got back up there. It has to go to the bottom and all the way back up and dump it out. I said, how much water can it pump in a lifetime? And this wasn't and I had to tell him right away, this is not a trick question. It's just, I just want to know what you think the answer would be. If you were going to pump that water for a lifetime, how much water would you pump? And then they asked the obvious questions, typical engineer, how big is the bucket? How much water is in the water basin? And I'm like, it doesn't really matter. Say the bucket's really, really big and you have unlimited water. How much water is it going to pump in a lifetime? Then they started throwing numbers out, 1 million gallons, 1 billion gallons, 1 trillion gallons. And I'm looking around the audience while they're throwing these answers out and nobody's questioning it at all. So I said, okay, let's look at the crypto market. How much money can it make if it just buys on a 3% drop and sells on a 3% increase? Just a little down, up, down, up, down, up. How much money can it pump? And, like this. It goes down just a little, buys, goes up a little, sells. Down a little, buys, up a little, sells. And if it goes lower, it's okay. We'll hold that loser for a while. I'm not even worried about it because we're going to keep pumping just as much money as I was pumping up here I'm going to pump down here. And now it went even lower. I'm holding that loser and that loser. But again, the amount of money I was pumping on each one of those buys and sells is the same amount I'm pumping here. So I'm going to just keep pumping money till I die. And you can't stop me. Unless that coin goes out of business, I'm just going to keep taking money forever. How much money can... I didn't say it had to go all the way down. I didn't say it had to go all the way up. It just keeps pumping money no matter where it's at. And if it does go up like that, you're going to sell all that inventory. I call it inventory. Each one of these is a separate lot. If it goes down here and then it goes and then it jumps up there, like you see the coin sometimes jump up 20%, you'll sell all those off, 20% higher. This one will be 20% higher. This one will be 17%. That one will be 14%. That one will be 11%. It'll just sell them all off until you hit the 20% higher. So then I said, how much money will it pump in a lifetime? And it was really funny because then the room went silent. And I finally heard one person answer. And he goes, there's no way that could be real. I love it, man. That was so funny. It's like, it is real. There's no way it can't be real. I'm not violating any laws, even though it feels like I am. Because I call the market an insult to humanity. It's just free money. It's running a 7-Eleven without the bricks and mortar. It works. I didn't invent commerce. It's been going on for thousands of years.
Yeah.
You want a loaf of bread, you go to the store, they are selling you bread that they bought at a lower price. And they're selling it to you at a higher price. That's all. I'm doing exactly what a 7-Eleven does, only I don't have to hire people or anything. I can just sit back. Now, however, which coins am I going to trade? Everybody wants to know that. That's a big deal. Well, stop and think about it for a minute. I'm going to go back to the 7-Eleven example. When I go to a 7-Eleven or a Quick Mart or anywhere, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, any of those stores, I always look for a couple things. In a small place like a 7-Eleven, I look at the cash. When I walk through the door, I look at the cash register. I see the guy at the register, and I look at what people are buying, and I want to see what are they buying in this store. And I notice it's always like the same stuff. It's always the fast moving stuff. Potato chips, Monster drinks, that kind of stuff. Vapes. I actually was in a line the other day, a while ago, and I saw the people in front of me, they kept all ordering like the same thing. And I'm like, what is that? And it was vapes, but I didn't know what a vape was. So I was wondering, is it candy? Why are everybody buying the same thing? When I finally got up there, I said, what is that everybody's buying? He says, oh, it's vapes. I'm like, vapes? I didn't know what a vape was, That was weird, so I'm very nosy, all right? Can you tell? I'm always listening. If I go to like a Quest Diagnostics, that's that blood work place where they take, I guess everybody's sitting around there waiting in a waiting room like they're going to die or something. Nobody's talking. And I'm I'm very vocal. So I'm sitting there and right away I'll go, hey, anybody want to talk crypto? I throw that right out there just to see. You guys should try that. It's a survey. And usually the people start looking at the floor, the ceiling, the walls, anything. They're looking away. Turn away from that guy. It's like he just said that dirty word, crypto. I didn't say he wants to take a hit of acid. It was crazy the way they respond. The last time I said it, when I got blood work done not too long ago, I said, hey, who wants to talk crypto? Everybody started laughing. And then I laughed along with them like it's all a big joke. And I'm like, whoa, man. I'm like, you are out of it. You are missing the biggest money grab, the biggest money opportunity of our generation, of our lifetime. This is a big one. If you missed the internet revolution or you missed the tech revolution or you missed that whole banking fiasco in 2008 when you could have bought the banks for $1 and then they rocketed them up to 50. then this is the big one. And this one's going to be bigger than all those guys, in my opinion, combined. This is the whole world money. I mean, this is going to be so big. And I'm watching what the whales are doing, what the big boys are doing. And I've always been watching the whales. I want to see what the big guys are always doing. And they're always doing the same thing before a big run up. They run everything down. They always run these coins or the stocks into the ground. And I used to laugh about it. When I used to present to audiences, they were always live audiences before we had these online things. And I'd put Bank of America up on the screen. And I'd say, anybody think Bank of America is going to go down, go out of business? And it was sitting at $10 a share. And everybody in the audience would go, no, I don't think so. I'm like, then trade the heck out of it. I didn't say heck though, by the way. I said, trade the heck out of it. It's free money, man. All it is numbers going up and down. And what are you going to lose at $10 a share? I mean, they're not going to go out of business. They're just going to keep pumping you money forever.
Yeah.
I used to joke about Microsoft when it was at $30. I'm like, I'll buy more at a lower price if they want to keep lowering it lower, down. I mean, what are they going to do? Run Microsoft out of business to steal a few $1,000 from me? Otherwise, you're just going to have to keep paying me, because no matter where you go, I'm going to sell higher. No matter where they put that price, it never can go 3% higher without me taking more money. It's just take free money forever.
One of the things that I want to just comment on your well thing, because a lot of people really miss this, and it's really important. Let's say you have 100 XRP, right? Let's say XRP is at $1, right? And a lot of people in here have XRP. And when it goes to $2, you made 100 points, we're going to call it, right? But the time in which it took to get from $1 to $2 could have made 400 to 500 points on your system.
Right.
That's the one that people can't really wrap their head around, because it bounces around, 1,000 times or 100 times before it gets to that next dollar level. You didn't just earn $1, you earned multiples of that dollar, because
10 times.
Yeah, it's hundreds of % higher. And when I first started becoming a Forex trader, I used to trade swing trades. And then I started to realize that it's sort of like the old insurance thing. Everybody's going to get in a car accident you're most likely within a mile of your house, because you're there the most. It's sort of like the old analogy of a putt, What's the easiest putt to make? A 1-inch putt. And it mathematically gets more difficult the further you get away from the hole. So the most common trades are the 1 and 2 and 3 points. And when you become a scalper, you really realize that. And they call it, the big traders, don't do the scalping stuff. Wall Street will tell you don't do that stuff because, it's just noise. It's not a real trend. You're trading noise. And it's
they don't want you doing that.
Nope.
They want you to be a buy and holder. They want you to go all in at the top. And then when it's crashing, because they're going to crash the market before they rocket it to new highs, because the whales want to buy $30 million of each of these coins. And the only way they can buy one guy can buy $30 million worth of one of these coins is if a lot of little guys sell off. Yeah. And a lot of little guys are actually doing that, because I get the phone calls. People actually ask me, should I stop my auto trader from buying more because it's been going down so much? And I'm like, no, man, the biggest money you're going to make is the stuff you're buying at the bottom. Because when that goes up, you're going to make a fortune.
Right. Hey, Ed, can you share a trader with everybody? That would be cool.
I wanted to, do you mind if I go to I was talking about the 7-Eleven. If I'm running a 7-Eleven, I've never opened a 7-Eleven myself. It's in the same order of the well.
Sure.
If I'm opening a 7-Eleven, I imagine that at some point, after I figured out where my building is going to be and my parking lot and my cash register and all that stuff, at some point I'm going to end up sitting in front of a distributor, that the people that are going to bring the food and everything you're going to sell to the store. And I'm thinking, At some point, you're gonna sit down with that guy, and he's gonna bring up a screen. I'm just assuming, something like this that says,
Oh,
"Which
we can't see
product
it. We
do I
can't.
sell the most of?" Pardon me?
Ed, we can't see your screen.
Oh no, what happened?
You
Oh, hang on,
unshare.
I didn't put it up. Hang on.
Oh, every time I change tabs, you
Yep,
need to
there
put
you
it
go.
up.
Yeah,
We
there
can
you go.
see you now.
Okay. So this is the screen that's going to show all the products that I'm assuming are the distributor has that you're going to maybe sell in your 7-Eleven. And it could be in alphabetical order, but I'm thinking it makes more sense to show me the products that I'm going to sell the most of. Like this one here, the first Swift, in the last year, it had 1,023 trades. So if you were trading Swift in the last 12 months, you would have had 1,023 closed profitable trades. Every closed trade is a profitable trade in Go Baby Trade. Unless you do something manually and sell it at a loss, the auto trader is not going to sell it at a loss. Now, there's my choice. I can trade the biggest moving items. I'm assuming this is like Monster drinks, potato chips, candy bars, vapes, maybe vapes at the top. I don't know. I can't imagine it, though. It's beyond my comprehension. But the biggest moving items are at the top. And then you notice 1,023, 958. And if I go to the bottom of the report, this is where you get to products you're probably not going to sell much of. Iodine, Lysol, you know what I mean?
Band-Aids.
I don't know. Stuff that you're probably not going to sell a lot of. 81 trades in a year, 81 closed trades versus 1,000 of the coins at the top. I don't want to trade this stuff at the bottom. Now, for people that like to sit on Bitcoin, well, I'm afraid to say Bitcoin sits on line 359. 109 trades in a year. It's simply on a percentage basis. It doesn't move. It's like these are months here. 4 trades last month, 3 trades the month before that, 3 trades the month before that. This is junk. All these coins down here are junk. Now, what I noticed since I turned on the crypto trader, since I automated the market, I noticed I've looked at a lot of people's traders. They share with me. And I noticed what people have shared what they're doing. Like they keep buying. They've been buying more and more coins, throwing money into these coins for the last 7 years, I guess, and just accumulating all this. And I'm like, oh man, you're sitting on all that junk, that doesn't even move. When you could be turning inventory. I want to sell. If I'm opening a 7-Eleven, you ain't gonna find iodine on my shelf. Because I know nobody's going to come in there looking for iodine. I laugh about it, but it's true, I mean, I don't even want to trade it. I don't want it in my trader. I mean, you can open up a trader here and just grab the first 5 coins on the list. And, and they're top moving coins, and you're going to turn a lot of inventory. That's what it's all about, turning inventory. Give me the coins that move the most. I literally share this with you. You can go to the website, use Alan's link that he gave you to go to the website, gobabytrade.com/the staple crew.
Right.
And that lowers the price of the trader, but it also, you can see these links. If you go to the website, you'll see you can click on trade counts, and that's the screen. Do I have to change it again?
Nope.
No.
We can see it. You're good.
Oh, all right. That's amazing. No.
Go back.
You're on the same screen. That's why it didn't change. That's why it changed.
Go back to that previous screen, Ed. I want to make sure everybody understands that on this screen, that one. On this screen, everybody needs to know that before you even pull the trigger on the license, you could DYOR here pretty heavy. Do your own research. You could look at that. There's a sample trader. There's trade counts, which we just saw. You could take a look at the top 50 traders in the last year and see what coins right here. Here it is. This is.
You can even click on the view details, and it shows you what the person's trading, the coins that person's trading, and what their trade settings are.
Right.
I mean, we show it. This is not a black box. When I show you the trader, you're going to see, you will know everything that it's going to do ahead of time. You already know where it's going to buy, when it's going to buy, where it's going to sell. You already know what the target prices are. And it adds to losers when they're going lower. It adds to winners when it's going higher. And it even, so if the price is going higher, it can buy more at a higher price. So it can add when it's going down, it can add when it's going up, and it can do a thing that I call fills the gap. Between, you might own a position here and here, it can actually buy in the middle of that. We follow the money wherever it goes and force them to have to pay us. No more free ride for the big boys. That's what I say. They're used to being able to move these prices all around, and the public is just sitting there with their eyes closed. And I'm like, no way. The auto trader is going to say, you move these prices, pay me. There's no free ride. I'm going to put you in a box. I'm going to put that coin in a box, and I'm going to force you to have to pay me everywhere it goes. Picture.
I have a quick question, Ed.
Yes.
Okay. Since we're on that page, this has come up a lot. How many coins do you recommend a person open up? I know
3
you can
to
do
5. And I can go just based on looking at, let's just start on number 5 here. I haven't even looked at these, but let's just look. This person he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the next one, and he's did 189% return in profits last year. The next one, 5 coins. The next one, no coins, so I don't know what he's doing. And I'll tell you why. No, I'll tell you why. Let me tell you why. I already show you what he did wrong. He said his profit goal to 2%, add on 1% drops for 30
He messed with the settings. He messed with the settings.
He messed up his settings. He messed up his settings, and he did great. He did 200% return, but then he started gambling. And then and add down to, he's only adding to a 15% drop. That means his trading window is only 15% from when he went in to there. So that means he put all of his money into that 15% trading window. So he was playing with a lot of money, and he got lucky. He cleaned up. But then the coins took up. What did the coins do in the last 5 days? They probably dropped 20% in the last few days. So that already wiped him out, because that put all his money in up here, and then he's a buy and holder because he doesn't have any money down here. So he probably moved his coins or did something, sold everything off. Or maybe it sold everything off because it was all profitable, and he didn't buy it back. I don't know what his case is, but in any case, you can see he messed with his strategy.
I've seen for years with these trading systems is somebody makes 200% and they think they're smart. Well, I'll make 400 next year. Well, okay, but why are you not happy with 180 or 200% a year?
I know.
What's the matter with you?
Warren Buffett would be loving me if he could, if I would raise the amount that he could trade. I set the limit in each trader to 2 million, and that makes the big guys with $10 million mad, because I tell them, hey, if you want to trade with 10 million, you can get 5 auto traders. And he's like, you could raise that number, to 10 million. I'm like, I could, but I didn't create this system for you. I created it for everyday people, for everybody.
And the key thing for people to understand is, if you need to make more, don't think in percentages. Think, oh, well, I need to make more income. Well, if you need to make more income, throw more principal in it. You don't need any more than 70 or 80% a year.
Don't start gambling. Just because you want to sell your potato chips for $50 a bag, nobody's going to buy them. You have to sell them for $4 a bag, and just sell a lot of bags. And the software will take care of the movement and and give you a lot of action, but it can only work with the money you have and the protection. Don't turn away. Don't get rid of the protection. The protection's number one, man. If you start getting rid of the protection, where was that one where he sold everything?
I think here, right here.
He got rid of his protection here. You notice all these other traders have, this guy's got a 90% trading window. he's taking 10% profit goals, but he's adding on 3% drops. This is what these two numbers dictate the trading window, how far he can trade down. He's adding on 3% drops. Each time it goes down 3%, he buys more. For 30 lots down, 3 times 30 is a 90% trading window. That means as long as that coin stays within 90% of the bottom, within a 90% window, you can trade in perpetuity till you die. That's free money for life.
And he's
And
trading
it
one
seems
coin.
criminal. It seems criminal. It seems like I know I'm nobody's doing what I'm doing here. So it feels just, it's such free money. It's just hard to comprehend that that you could do this. But
for the conservatives out there, let me say this because I've experienced it, is that you've made the software, you've made the entire system so intelligent. Risk is gone. There's only 2 ways you can lose money with this trader. You manipulate the default settings, or the coin goes out of business.
Right. That's
and
it.
If the coin goes out of business and it's been trading for years and years and years before it goes out of business, then you're going to have traded it 10,000 times and taken skinned profit in every single time. And you'll see that when you show your trader dashboard.
Well, let's see.
There it is.
Yeah, like this one here. All right, this is the robotic trader. Let's go into the trader now. I'm going to take another drink.
Do you have do you have your original trader? Because I always like to make a point with that. Do you have that pulled up? No. No,
I can't bring that up here.
That's okay.
In this, I'm working on. You see the problem with my original trader? It's got $1 million in it, and most people don't have $1 million, so it discourages people. They think they need $1 million, and so because of that, I use that trader to experiment, to work on things, to work on code, and I've got things all out of whack because I keep breaking it. Well, like here, this health meter here at the bottom. These are admin links at the bottom. You don't get these links. These links below this admin links button. I got all these. This is what as a developer, I see all this stuff. You see the stuff above it.
Right.
But I'm working on this health meter that actually tells you ahead of time. Let me see if I can get to it here.
Don't click on anything sensitive.
Yeah, I know. I hear you. Health meter. Dear Lordy, Lord. All right. Let's see if I can bring up my trader. Here it is. All right. So this trader, this health meter actually tells you if there's anything wrong in your trader. So it's a feature I haven't released yet to the public. It's going to show right up here at the top of your screen. If there's any errors, and if you've done something or if there's any kind of problems, usually it's your settings. You did something. Like this one here, it's like your Quest Diagnostics. You got all your green stuff at the bottom, all the good stuff. I haven't released it yet. These are going to be green when I release it to the public. And it's telling me all these settings, everything looks good, except there is an error here. And it's an informational error. It's a warning. It's not a critical error. If it was critical, it would have an X here. But it says trading window percent may be getting too low. Interesting. All right, let's look at my trading window. Let's go to the trading window and take a look at it. Menu. I'm going to go to select currencies or edit strategy. Let's edit the strategy and see what's going on. Trading window percent may be getting too low. Mm-hmm. Remember what I said? I want that trading window to be at least 75%, which is the default. Okay. Yeah. In my trader, again, I experiment a lot. It's saying a 50% trading window is too low. It's giving me a warning. It's warning me that, that's a pretty low trading window because this market could drop 70%. It's the crypto market. Crypto is the Wild West. It wants 75% to be there. So it would really want me to put if I go ahead and set this
to 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that other guy was 15, right?
Well, but you got to look at I'm adding on 1% drops. So 1 times 50 is still a 50% drop. If I was doing 3%, let's do 3. It's my trader. I can do whatever I want, right? So now if I was to do 3 times 25, 3 times 25 is a 75% trading window. Or I could do 1 and just raise this instead of 50. Since I'm adding on 1% drops, I'm going to set it to 75. And I'm getting the same result. I'm just adding faster, but I'm still getting a 75% trading window. And if I save that, hit save.
You might be teaching bad habits here.
Yeah, I know, but let's just look at I want to look at the health meter. I want to go back to the health meter and see if it works. Now I'm going to go back to the health meter and see what it says.
It says, "Don't change your settings."
No, but you'd be surprised. People are gonna anyways, so you might as well.
But
you
it
might as well face reality.
I mean, listen, Mario Andretti, you have
look. See, it all went. See, all the errors went away now.
You perfected a machine that doesn't exist that just makes money. It's your trader. You do whatever you want. Everybody else out there, don't change your settings.
Yeah,
let's just make money. Yeah. Let's just make money.
You guys are so chicken. This is such a smart group, man. No, I know. I agree. Yeah, you don't want to start out by changing your settings.
Okay, that's a smart group, but we've only been on this thing a week. Let us be in this thing for
all right.
a month or 2, and then
by default, I wouldn't change the settings. This trader that I'm running right here, I have not changed the settings on it. All right.
Can you go through the left side, Ed, and show people the light blue and what that means? That's kind of the dashboard.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, for starters, every heading you can click on it, like 30-day profits taken. If I click on that, it actually takes me to the frequently asked questions and tells you what is a 30-day profits taken. It tells me it actually will tell you what it is. If I want to look at today's move, if I click on that, the heading here, it'll actually go to the frequently asked questions and tell you what does today move mean, and it explains what it is. So each one of these, everything, you can see what everything closed positions P&L. If I click on that, it tells you what is closed positions P&L. It explains it.
That's great.
Okay, so that's you want to know what things are. So every one of these headings has that. So it says it's live trading. I have videos, view videos on every page of the trader. So you can click on that and see videos of this whole page that talk. And if you want to listen to me yap, it's in the videos.
Why listen to the recorded version? We have the live yapper.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could be a recording right now. You don't even know, right? I don't know. Today's profits taken, 30-day profits taken. That's like the last month. And that, believe me, let me tell you something. That is a slow 30 days, trailing 30 days. That is the slowest month I've seen in a while. We're getting so many of these down days, down, down, down. You can scroll down here to the bottom and see the filled orders here on the right. And if it's just like a 7-Eleven. You're selling things and you're refilling the shelves. You're buying. So if I just scroll, you can see all the buying and selling. You don't want things to just go straight up, because then you're buying all at the top. You love it when it goes down. Go up, down, stay at the bottom. At the bottom is great. I mean, look at all those sales in 1 or 2 days. And then look at that one big gap. 827 is just nothing but buying. And that's okay. Down is good. Down, a well-seasoned auto trader has a lot of buy-in, a lot of down days. You want that, because then you really got the market trapped, because you've been buying while it was going down. You were adding each purchase. I call one lot. You're adding as it's going lower. Even though while it's wiggling, you're taking profits, but if it's trending down, you're adding all that inventory. So now you got all this inventory and the coin price is down here. If it jumps a 20% jump, boom, those three disappear. You sell them all off. If it does a 50% jump, boom, a whole lot of inventory sells off. Like ACH, just January 27th, just this year, in 5 days, it went up from 2.2 cents to 5.6 cents. And then now it came all the way back down to 1.7 cents. I'm like, beautiful. So you went all the way up there. You went up 150%. I sold off a ton of inventory. And then now it came all the way back down and I reloaded the inventory. I'm like, I love you. Thanks for the free money.
Hey, Ed?
But yes.
Can you go back to the left side in the light blue and share with everybody a couple things? How much did you start? Because this is going to be a question later. How much did you start this trader with? And then
200,000.
And that was on 2/7 of 23, right there, right?
Right.
Okay, and it's pulled in $351,000 since
of actual physical cash. You can see it right here.
Okay.
My cash. The profits it's taken, if you add all that up, that adds up to 351.07. But it didn't take it all in one lump like you're looking there. It took it over here on the right hand, lower right. You can see the trades. $112, $73, $69. You know, you can. It's just keep taking money. That money adds up to 100% a year or close to it, anywhere from 50 to 100%, depending on how the market wants to mess with you. But it's going to keep taking. And some days you just having just all day, you're just taking nothing but money. Look at May 8th, all that free money. I call it just free money, man. You know, all that inventory that I'm closing because the coin went higher. Yeah. And then, you know, and then what does it do after that? You start loading up again. You can see the buys in between all the sells. It's just like a 7-Eleven. Only in a 7-Eleven, they stock the shelves at night and sell it all off during the day. We don't have a time frame attached to the buys or the sells because we follow the money wherever it goes, and which is better because we got them trapped in a box and there's nothing they can do.
Can you share the an AI transaction versus a non-AI down below?
Yeah, sure. Like right here, you can see added to declining position. It tells you why the reason for the trade. That means the coin price went down, so it added more. This one says added to declining position, but AI got involved in that trade and said, hold on, don't add yet. It's going to go lower in the next few minutes. And the AI is phenomenally accurate when it can jump in, when it can see a pattern. If there's a lot of times there's no pattern to see.
Yeah.
You know, and so then and the auto trader says, well, I'm going to buy. If you're not going to tell me that it's going to go lower, then I'm going to just buy right now because the software is doing money management anyways. And then if you go down further, you should be able to see some profit goal reached. Like here, you can see here when it was taking profit, sometimes you have profit goal reached where it just went up and the software took the profit because AI didn't say it was going to go higher. But on this one below it, these two below it here, AI got involved in those trades. So the auto trader said, hold on, don't take that profit yet. It's going to go higher. And so that's what the AI does. So AI is not the holy grail. It's not like some of these other bots that are out there. They're all bragging about, I have AI. And I'm like, I don't even know what they're talking about. Because AI is not the holy grail. It's a nice add-on. I call it a nice widget, a nice bell and a whistle. But if you think that it's the holy grail, that's wrong. You can see today, it's pretty much a down day, you know. I mean, you can see all the coins are down, but it did take I did take some profit here. $78 on Dogecoin at 3:26 p.m. You know what's cool here? Here it is. This one shows opened. You can see the shares 11,820. There's the open, and there's the close right above it. So it opened it at 2:04 p.m. the price went from 221 to 2289, and it took the profit. It took free money. I mean, this does this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, man. It just keep giving me money, no matter where it goes, and no matter what time of the day or night, or could be 1 o'clock in the morning. It's just you can't like look at this 2:24 a.m. This one is 2:24 a.m. and then it didn't do anything for 12 more hours till 2:32. It's like, hey, whatever. I mean, and 2:32 p.m., which is 12 hours, which is cool. I'm okay with it. You can't jerk with an auto trader. You can't fake it out. It's completely emotionless.
No,
that's right. Alan, do you have any questions about the trader itself before we take some questions maybe from your audience?
Well, no, I really like what Ed's created here, obviously, and I haven't had as much time to play with it as some of the others, so I do have a few questions, and I've noticed there is a few questions in the chat that I've kind of been catching up on.
Well, I love a good Q&A. I mean, I like 3 hours of Q&A.
I know the answer to this, but and heaven forbid, some people have asked, well, what happens if something happens to Ed? Does he have backup? Does he, what do we know about that?
Look at Edward laughing.
What is it, your complexion? You kind of look a little.
That's what I used to say. I mean, I was asked so many times if I'm going to die. I'm like, is it, do I need to go to the doctor or what? What are people always asking me if I'm going to die?
Yeah.
I mean, when I go to the doctor's office, I debate with the doctors and with all the people in there. I'm like, I can get out and run 5 miles right now. I bet you guys can't. I bet you can't. That's what I say to them, I mean, I argue with them. It's like, come on, man, I'm more healthy than you guys are.
Here's the good news. There's redundancy and continuity.
Yeah, there is. That's a good, honest question, actually. My son has been programming this since high school for the last 17 years. And he's got a biochem degree. He's a master programmer, you can imagine. He's been programming since he was like 5, and he is so smart. And actually, my answer is lately has been, you better worry about if something happens to Steven. Because I'm getting tired, I'm getting old. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, but we'll never stop. And why won't I ever stop? And that's where it goes all the way back to, why would I be doing this if I'm already retired and I've got millions of dollars? Why am I doing this? Why am I wasting my time doing this and giving everybody auto traders? Because I'm winning. Because I'm doing something that everybody says that you can't do. It can't be done. Nobody can do this. Nobody can create an auto trader that grinds money out of the market for the rest of your life with virtually, where's the risk? I don't even see the risk. I don't know what they're talking about. I hate to have to put up that sign when you go to connect the API to Coinbase, and it has to have that disclaimer that says cryptos are risky. I'm like, I hate it. I don't see what you're talking about. Where's the risk to buying a 2-cent coin that should be $20 a share and it's going for 2 cents? Where's the risk? I mean, I don't get it. So I'm winning. And why would I ever stop doing it? And then when I also, all over the years since 2001, I've been looking for competitors and I have none. And everybody, they don't get it. They're not, because they can't. And I've analyzed this. I've really picked it apart to try to understand why is nobody else able to do what I've done. And I think about it, it's like, well, I've been completely retired the whole time. I've got all the time in the world. I've got all the money in the world. I'm playing. I'm playing. I'm having a ball, And then it turns out I'm helping a lot of people, which almost makes me even want to cry, when I think about it. People, their lives are in there. I've had so many people tell me, Ed, you saved my retirement. I see people that literally are living on $2,000 a month, and their auto trader is pulling in another $2,000. giving them $4,000 a month to live on. I mean, that's, that makes you feel real good and choked up even over it. I'm helping everybody, and it feels great. It really does. And remember another critical thing. I know what retirement feels like. I ain't going there again, man. I did that from 95 to 2000. I'll never go there again. I know. And what is retirement? Retirement is so you can have time to do what you love doing. Well, I love programming, and I definitely love doing something nobody else can do. Even TD Ameritrade called me in 2006 and said, "Will you connect your auto trader to us?" They called me out of the blue, and I'm like, excuse me, how do you even know me? I don't advertise. I'm just word of mouth, people sharing that what they have with other people. And his answer was so profound. His answer was 2 words: "You're real." That felt good. And I'll never forget that. Put that on my headstone. He was real. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, and I told him my answer. I already know what I said back. You're right. I am real. Everybody else is out there gambling and playing around and trying to share stuff with people that they don't even know it works. People actually teaching trading classes, and the teacher never traded in the market. It's sinful what they're doing. It's actually what I would call criminal. I eat my own dog food. I run my own auto traders. My own money is in these traders, and I've got thousands of users using it and loving it. And I don't hear any complaining at all. I mean, it's
the only ones that complain.
Correction.
Well, these 2 guys are always complaining, trying. They're always like, "You're taking too long," No,
the only people, Edward and I always say, the only people.
Oh yeah,
complain.
There are complainers. You know who the complainers are?
Yep. Say it.
People who don't own an auto trader.
Bingo.
The people who don't, the people who look and saying there's no way that could be real, but they don't have an auto trader, so they don't believe it's real. So it's like, well, I can't. Until you're running an auto trader, don't argue about it, because once you're running an auto trader, you're going to know it's real.
The other people that complain is the guy that made 200%, and then he messed with the settings, and now he's making nothing.
He's not even complaining. I'm going to go and look and see who that is, by the way. I don't even know who it is. I'm going to look and see what happened, because how do you make money like that and then turn it off?
Juan has a question. Well, stupidity comes to mind, but I wasn't going to use that one.
I never say that. My wife would tell me, don't say that.
Okay.
I can't call anybody stupid. You know why?
Well,
because I can barely change a light bulb without falling off a ladder.
Yeah, same. But it's not stupidity. That's the wrong word. Ignorance.
Ignorance, right? True.
Yeah, it's ignorance. His lack of knowledge. It's like, oh, well, I'll make it better. Yeah, okay, great.
Well, and one of the biggest hurdles to get over is the fact that he's done something that's never been done before. So when somebody hears it, it's a head scratcher because we've been trained by the Matrix that if it looks too good or if it's too good to be true, it usually is. I can tell you this is not. I shared with you. I don't know whether I shared with your audience last week or whether it was just when we were talking in the background about a young lady that my wife met at the soccer field. I'll be 61 years old, right? But I've got a 10-year-old, right? And just like Ed goes into, just like Ed goes to the Quest Diagnostics and say, "Hey, you want to talk about crypto?" You're sitting there watching my son get his ass kicked in his first soccer game, 19-0. I don't know what the but there was a woman sitting next to my wife and leans over and she says, "Hey, do you know anything about crypto?" And my wife goes, "The guy sitting next to you is the expert." She literally called me the next day and said, "Can you help me? Is there any way? I know about crypto. I got XRP. I know, but I don't know how that's going to change my life right now." I said, "Well, the market's going to, it's gearing up to do its thing. But, let me tell you something, this little thing called Go Baby Trade that does it automatically for you." And she picked my brain for about an hour and she said, "Okay, I just bought it. Now get me connected, because what you've done is you have literally, I've been praying and praying and praying for something that gave me the opportunity.
I hear that a lot.
To prosper. And this is a single mother of a 10-year-old that works in corporate world, that works her fingers to the bone. And she started to cry when I had her on the phone. And I said, are you okay? She said, you have given me something that I didn't think existed, the ability to work my way out of a job. And,
Yeah.
I've had people retire. You know, I know a guy that worked at AT&T, and he said his auto trader makes more money than he was making at his job. So he quit his job. He took the buyout. They were always asking them that they were trying to get the people to buy out, to leave, so other people could come in. And he finally took the buyout because he said, my auto traders make more than I make at my job. You know,
literally
I'm done.
It's a
Well,
game.
we do this. Let me say this. We do this every week with a few others too. And I will say this, Edward and I have been challenging people for over 18 months. If you could bring us, just bring us something else that gets the results that this trader does with a 25-year track record, with it being totally set it and forget it, where it never sells at a loss. And we have a hotline to the creator. Bring that to us. We want to see it. And no one's picked up the phone. It's like the Maytag repairman. We're sitting there waiting for the phone to ring. No one's got anything close to the spokes. Trust me.
No.
Anyway, what other question?
I have to ask
questions.
Yeah, I have to ask this question, otherwise he'll shoot me tomorrow. How often do you change your coins?
No.
You know, I've been trading the same coins for 4 years. And I don't change my coins. I'm trading the same one. AC, Alchemy Pay, GRT. GRT gets 2 billion hits a day with their APIs, and they're going for, I just saw it today, like under 8 cents. What a joke. I mean, again, they should be $80 a share. I don't get it. People that say these cryptos are voodoo, they're not real. I'm like, these coins are big, man. I'm sorry that the prices are 2 cents. That's crazy, man. The fact that you could buy these coins at these crazy prices, you know the rich are loading up like crazy, man. They are loading up.
Oh, yeah.
ACH, GRT, Shiba Inu, Dogecoin. I mean, these coins just keep moving forever, and they're not going away. I don't change my coins. Now, if I open up a new trader today, then I would go, do you see my screen?
No, you're not sharing anymore. I was just going to say it's perfect time for me to chime in. Oh, okay.
Well, sharing. I would go to the default system. How does this work? I wish I knew how to
clicked
use
on
this.
the entire screen again.
Oh, there.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah. Just
oh,
click
wait,
on
I keep forgetting. No.
Yep, right there.
Yeah, but do you see that?
Yes.
Now we're there.
Oh, all right. So, you know, if I was just starting an auto trader today, I'd grab these 5 coins right here. SWIFT, SPA, XCN, ASM, and L3. The top 5 coins. You know, I didn't have this report 4 years ago when I automated the market or automated cryptos. So I did research on the 35 coins that Coinbase allowed. That's all they had. Now they have over 350. But I created this report about 1.5 years ago, I guess. I guess it was that long ago. I don't remember.
No,
but
it was only 10 months ago.
Oh, was
that's
it?
That's when I saw it. I went, holy cow! What did you make? And what did I call it? What did I call it?
You call it the $1 billion report.
I call it there's 2 questions that people ask when they buy the trader. How much money do I need to start with? And what coins do I buy? Well, this $1 billion trader is, or a $1 billion report, aggregates and does all of the investigation for you and tells you what the top.
Give me the coins that move up and down the most. That's all I care about. I'm not. I mean, if you don't like monster drinks, it doesn't matter. If you're running a 7-Eleven, you still sell monster drinks. I don't care what the coins are, but they are high utility. They're utility coins. That means they're real companies with real products. They have income. They're not meme coins. and
Yeah.
they're available at, these coins are available. Like this one is only available at Coinbase. This number 3 one is available at Coinbase and Kraken. So if you're at Kraken, you're gonna need. I'm gonna change this screen so you can show. Like if you're at Kraken, you're only gonna see the Kraken coins, right? I'm gonna let you choose that. But I make little changes to things like that to make your life easier. But you can also just scroll down and I want the coins, like anything that's given me 600 trades or more, like the top 17 coins.
Yeah.
But
Can
I don't
say
want
something?
coins that have where they're not showing if they're a meme coin or what are these coins? Are
Yeah.
they NFTs? Are they utility coins? I don't know. I only want the ones that say utility for sure. Like Sui is a very popular coin. A lot of people trade it every month, double digits every month. And
Yeah.
even in a crummy market, even right now, where the coins really have dropped off, like look at January and February, this coin was doing like a lot of trades, right? And then they did that Coinbase summit at the White House.
Oh, the crypto summit.
Oh yeah, the crypto summit. And as soon as they did that, the rich said, "Whoa, cryptos are going to take off." So that's when they started slamming the coins down as hard as they can. Get the little guy out and let the big guys, let everybody on the House, everybody on the Senate, everybody, all the multi-millionaires are loading up like crazy. There used to be a website out there called Whale Watch. Now, if you go there, they changed it to watching whales in the water. They're always playing games. They took that away. You used to be able to see where the big money was going.
Yeah.
And I watched $100 million go into Shiba Inu in one day once, and I'm like, whoa, the big boys are loading up like crazy, man.
There's another question somebody had that's kind of related. Is Coinbase or Kraken more profitable? Percentage of trade, cost of trade.
They're not more profitable in sense of coin movement. All the coins are going to behave the same no matter where you're at. However, there are trading fees that the brokers charge. The software adds the trading fee to the profit goal so that it's like a wash. Instead of going for a 3%, even though you told it I want a 3% profit, it might go for a 4% to cover the fee of the trading fee. And Kraken does have lower trading fees than Coinbase. So in that regard, to me, that's the only advantage Kraken has over Coinbase.
Can I add something to that, Ed?
Yes.
Okay, so my take on that is that there are some differences. I love Kraken; it's a good exchange. I use them. I use for the trader Coinbase only because I like to start in crypto and stay in crypto. And if you use Kraken, there's only one choice, to be in USD. The trader will pull out the money to buy out of US dollars. Whereas in Coinbase, it's USD or USDC, which is a stable coin, which is a crypto. So that's the first thing. Also in Coinbase, you can get Coinbase One and you're getting 4.5% on your USDC that's sitting there. And then you get about a 0.25% rebate on each trading fee. And by the way, the trader in Coinbase already trades in Coinbase Advanced, where the fees are already lower than regular Coinbase.
Right. So it does. They do have reduced, but it's still not as reduced as what Kraken has. Their fees start out pretty low. So a lot of people, most people are in Coinbase. I'll tell you that. Worldwide, in all the other countries, Coinbase is in more countries than Kraken is in.
True that.
Most of our clients are actually in Coinbase, but we do have a lot of them in Kraken.
So that's another question. That's the limitations of who can purchase this as to what nation can get in either Kraken or Coinbase.
As long as they can get in one or the other, then they can use this trader. I get that all the time. Someone will ask from the UK, hey, does it work here? And I'm like, hey, if you can open up a Coinbase or a Kraken account, then you can use this software.
Love it. That's another one off the list.
Yeah, there's only a couple of countries. And you ChatGPT it. or Google it. What countries doesn't allow you to open up a Kraken or a Coinbase account, and it's a very small list.
Yeah, like Russia. I don't know. I imagine.
Afghanistan. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what countries it doesn't allow it in. I'm very limited in my scope personally. I just care about creating a piece of software that can grind money out of the market for the rest of your life without you having to do anything. Other than that, like I said, I can barely change a light bulb. I'm pathetic, man. I'll be honest. And everybody, so many people out there have so much more talents than I have in as far as in real world stuff, but I can program. I've been programming, I hate to say 50 years, but 50 years, and, so I love what I do. I'm doing it for fun.
Here's the good news.
Winning.
Here's the good news. You can hire people to change the light bulbs. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I have another question that's been all throughout the chat. Everybody wants to know, I'm doing a event in January, the 29th, 30, and 31st of January in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. We're expecting some 500 people there. And I'm being requested to have all three of you attend. Obviously, you don't have to say if there's personal reasons that you can't make those dates, let me know. But everybody in the chat has already invited Ed. So they're like, is Ed coming?
What about the other two clowns?
What is it?
You guys live there. I know you're going.
Yeah. Well, the last week we already had the offers of you two clowns showing up. So
very good. Very good.
I thought it was our complexion.
Yeah. No.
So you said January 2020. What days?
26, 27, 28.
No.
29, 30, 31.
Correct. 29 is a golf tournament. You don't have to be there for that unless you like play golf. And 30 is an all-day event. And 31 is a barbecue picnic outdoors.
I'm coming to that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I love a good barbecue.
that's it. So that's what we're doing there.
And you said, where is that?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. And I can send you all the info.
Yes,
we'd love to have you there.
Hey, Alan, thank you. And by proxy, your audience, we appreciate that. I mean, that's all I keep preaching is
I put it on my calendar.
Right.
So for
sure.
Providing value.
All I have to do is get permission from my wife, and then that'll be it.
No, bring her.
Well, I have to get permission if she wants to go.
Well, it's January in South Florida, and it's a credible building.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
Yeah,
it's going to be fun.
for sure.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Didn't somebody have something in Arizona?
No.
I thought there was some kind of other event in Arizona.
No. Any other questions, Alan?
I can't think of any.
Let me just expand. Let me expand on one area that was asked about 3 questions ago. It's really an important and a common question about the number of coins and which coins. So this is my philosophy because I'm in this game 5 years full time. I eat, sleep, and dream this stuff: blockchain, crypto, DeFi, AI, you name it. And the trader, I've known Ed 13 years. I knew the previous trader. I know this trader. Here's the bottom line. If you're starting with a smaller amount, and a smaller amount to me is like $5,000 or less, you don't need more than a couple coins, really. I mean, 2 or 3. I say 2. When you get to over 5,000, like 5 to 10, you could add a third comfortably. But on Ed Barsano's highest monetary trader, which is now worth about $1 million, he has had that trader for 4 years, and he earned all those profits with 3 coins.
Yeah,
so
4.
Never. There's 4. There's no correlation, folks, between making more money by having more coins in the trade.
It's worse if you have a lot of coins. Because think about it. If you're trading with 3 coins.
Yeah.
Actually, 3 is, I think you were right. I think it is 3. 34%, 33% and 33%. Adds
Right.
up to 100% of your money.
Three
So you
coins.
have a good amount of money in each coin, so that when it moves, you make a good amount of money. I see people, if you had 10 coins, then you would be dividing your money up 10% per coin. And if you had 20 coins, you'd be doing 5% of your money per coin. So you're slicing up the pie, but you're slicing up the money so that when a coin does move, you don't have much money in it.
Nope.
I want to make good money when I trade. I want every trade to represent. Let me see if I can. Let's go back to the main trader. When I do a sale, when my software does a sale, a closed trade, let's look on the lower right here when it comes up. $78, $91, $120 per trade. I mean, the less coins you trade with, the more money you're going to make per trade.
Right.
And whereas if you slice it up and you had too many coins, I mean, and here, Lee had $230, $538. I want to make good money when these things move. And, I don't want to make, 3 cents a trade. And, and if you slice your money up too much, you're just not making very much when they move.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
And so I'm telling you, 3 to 5 coins is really all you need. I actually changed it. When you first sign up, it's only going to list three coins to start out. That's it. That's going to be your choice of 3 coins. But I mean, it gives you a default coins, and it's gonna just give you. It's only gonna list. So you push that button, and it gives you 3 default coins that are very popular, that are very high moving coins, and it's gonna list those 3 coins, and if you push the button, those will come up. You really don't have to add more.
And if you do,
And you don't want to trade like with 50 coins and stuff like that. You just slice your money up where you're doing 2% of your money per coin. You're not making any money, and the less coins, the better.
Yeah, and the last thing I'll say on the coins real quick, Alan, I'll hand it back to you, is pick 3 or 4 coins max that you like and you're confident in. Maybe like me, you like SUI. I love SUI. I trade AIOZ. AIOZ is kicking butt for me. Obviously, XRP and all that, but stick with them. Don't be trying to change out of your current coins, because if you have this and it starts becoming seasoned after 2-3 months, you've got all those open positions, and now you want to switch. It gets messy. It gets ugly.
Well, because then you're tying up all that money in coins that you're no longer trading, and you're just sitting on it waiting for them to go up to close. And when they drop 20% more, you're not buying anymore. Then you got this big gap, and you got to wait for it to go back up that 20% to where you own coins to sell it again.
Right.
And then you're missing all this movement on here. The whole goal of the trader is to trap the market. You can feel very powerful when the market crashes. Feel like this. I feel a lot of people internalize the market. And what I mean by that is they feel like, I'm down. It's like, no, you and 100 million other people are down. Think of it that way. You're not the only one down. Everybody's down. When that coin price goes down, everybody in the world is down. And the beauty is you're buying more while it's down there. Most people aren't. They bought it up here, and the coin price is now down here. You're winning, because if it even goes like that, a little blip up, you're selling. Can they see me?
Yep.
Can you see me?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if it just goes up a little, you're taking profits. Even at the bottom, the coin could be 90% down. I don't even care. I laugh at the market when it drops like that. I'm like, give me 10 down days in a row. Make my day. Because I dare you. How far do you want to go down? You don't scare me, because the software's doing money management. You can't hurt me no matter where you go. I'm going to be trading like crazy. And then you're going to try to break out. And that's when I really got them, because I got all that inventory. And when they try to break out and they push the coin up 50% in a day, I got all that inventory that sells off. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I just feel so powerful, diabolical.
This tool is so in my opinion, perfect for the average hodler because you've got your bag. You've got the coins you love. You're emotionally tied to them, just like Ed just said. And that's my bag. I got it. I know XRP one day is going to 1,000 or Bitcoin's going to 1,000,000, and that's my bag. But when you get a tool like this, and exactly what Ed just said, and exactly what Simon just said in the chat, when it goes down, when you see red numbers, all of a sudden your heart doesn't sink. You're sitting there going, oh, this is a buying opportunity. I would have never bought right here. I would have never personally bought right here, but it did buy for me. Well, in 2 days, 3 days, a week, it's going to be a profit right there.
Yeah.
Now, you don't
I'm
have
in no rush.
You don't have to go to school. You don't have to spend the thousands of hours screen time that I had to learn how to trade. And you don't have to do any of that. This skips all of that nightmare and all of that emotional. The greatest book ever, in my opinion, about trading is a book called Trading in the Zone. And when I recommend the book to people, people go, oh, there wasn't any trading strategies in it. Well, the reason is because trading is all mental, all of it. It's just mental abuse is all it is.
Right.
This eliminates all mental abuse. Just, okay, the bot's buying it here. They're smarter than I am. I'm just going to watch the profits come in. This is the key to this trading platform. And I love what you've created here, Ed.
Thank you.
Love it. And I love that we know the founder. We can get you guys on the phone. We can get text support.
Well, if you call me, you better have 2 hours to kill. Anybody on there, will tell you. Because there's a lot to talk about, and I love it. And Simon, by the way, you mentioned Simon wrote something in the chat. Simon, I watched your video the other day, and you were online doing a webinar over the weekend. Thank you. I mean, I thought that was amazing. You were talking about the difference between the bot and a trader. That's why I brought it up today, because you brought that up, and it was like, that's. I mean, it was very good. You really have a good grasp of the trader, which amazes me all the time, because I mean, you must have just got it, and you already know all this.
But we're traders. We're traders.
Cool.
So when we see it do it for us, we're like, oh, that's exactly how I would have built this. I knew within an hour of talking to you, I was like, it's exactly how I would have built this whole software program.
And it took 25 years though to get there, because I had to unlearn all the misinformation that was out there first. So I had to unlearn all this misinformation that's being thrown at me, and I'm like, get rid of all that, man. You guys quit chasing those indicators and let's chase money directly. And it just keeps getting better. The trader keeps getting better.
I want to share something, Alan, that you may have heard before, but I think it's important for everybody to realize this is a revelation. The problem that this auto trader, the Go Baby Trade, solves is this. When I was growing up and I was young, my parents always said, cash is king. That's out the window. I do believe wholeheartedly it's been replaced with cash flow is king. Because let's face it, at the end of the month, if you have enough cash flow, that's a good month. Life is good. Not enough cash flow, life is rough. So I have 5 favorite influencers that I've listened to since day one. Roughly September 12th, 13th of 2020 is when I started this game. And Alan is one of the 5. He's the last one I grasped onto 15 months ago. And I hear over and over from these 5 influencers, from their audience, I hear the same thing, the same concern. And that concern is this: when is this market going to break out? How much longer is it going to be? When is it going to happen? Well, guess what? If those people were cash flowing and not only hodling, they would not be asking that question.
They wouldn't even care. Let the market drop 80%. Make my day.
Right. Yep. So, okay, go ahead, be a hodler, but at the same time, cash flow.
It's just another tool in your arsenal, really, Right. And I'll tell you what's going to happen, though. If you use this as one tool of your arsenal of other trading, I'm only speaking from experience because I talk to a lot of people. Slowly, all the money makes it into Go Baby Trade. Eventually, people quit doing everything else. I mean, I literally put a video out on the website that said, "Don't mortgage your house," because people were really doing that and are doing that. They're mortgaging their houses. They're selling their rental properties. They're bailing out of other things. They're just trying to get as much money into the trader, because you're going to make the same percentage return as a guy with over $1 million makes. The difference is he's got $1 million. He's going to get the same number of trades you get. The difference is he's got more money going into each trade, so he's making more profits.
Yeah,
per
that's
trade.
what Alan said. Don't think of it percentage return. If you wanted to make more money, put more principal in, right?
Yeah, that's it. It's just going to grind out more money.
Right.
And it's up to the market. What do you want to give me, market? You want to have a slow day where you're not giving me much? I can deal with that. I'm not going to run out and spend it anyways. I mean, I can't. I've got a Visa credit card, a Coinbase credit card, and I can't even. And I use it for grocery. I use it everywhere I go, and I can't spend the amount of money I make. I have another trader that gives me anywhere from $3,000 to $30,000 in a month.
Can you show the profits management, Ed? We haven't shown that screen. That'll be interesting to all the viewers tonight. Yeah.
Like I have 100,000 saved in my save bucket already, and I mean, what am I going to do with that money? I mean, go to Trader Joe's, I mean, you hardly. And what I like about the credit card though is every time I use it, I say to myself, the card that keeps on giving, because the trader puts more money into my account than I can take out every month using my Visa card. And I use it everywhere.
Good problem.
Normally, your default setting when you first get your trader is save 100%, because I want you to build a big bucket of money here. Yeah. To live on, to do stuff with. It's not like that's the thing. A lot of people are sitting on Bitcoin, right? And the thing is, it went to 120, but who cares? Did you sell your Bitcoin? No. All right, well, now it's back down to 110. It's like, well, if you're not going to sell it, then you're missing trades. And then think about Bitcoin. Actually, it's got to go to $220,000 to double, when a 2-cent coin will go to 4 cents overnight. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's not a trading coin. So, but anyways, I like to have a big bucket of money to live my life and do whatever I want with. And it's fun when you're just spending money
I like that it gives you control over how much you earn every month.
Yep.
Like you say, okay, well, if you got 100 grand in there and it's paying me, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 grand a month. Well, if you want to make 8 grand a month, you just got to put 200. You got to find a way to get 200 grand in there.
Double it. Yeah.
Yeah. Just double it.
Or you can release your profits that are saved. Sometimes when the market takes a good dump, and I'm actually, it's taken a nice dump already in the last few weeks. I mean, I could release 10,000 right now if I want from that money. If I click save, it's going to reduce that 106,000 to 96,000. It shows it down here below it. That would take money out of the save bucket and let the auto trader use that extra 10,000. But again, I'm not going to do it. I don't feel like making
Alan,
any changes.
Let me ask you a question. Did I talk to you either on or offline about Raoul Paul's recent statement?
You did. Okay. Yeah, I think you even mentioned it last week in the show, but it bears repeat. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, so let me put a pin in how powerful, at least in my humble opinion, this trader is. I don't know whether you guys follow Raoul Paul or
he had a great show today. I saw part of it.
Yep. Stephen Bartlett on that does Diary of a CEO. Go look up that. About I think 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, Stephen had a panelist, three guys that are known.
Hold it. Time out. Look what just popped up on the screen.
So this trade just now occurred. And
it happened live. This was not planned. This actually just happened live this moment. A profit of $127 was taken.
Okay, so Ed, we're splitting that, right?
So if I go down here in my filled orders, you can see it there. It just closed Swift. at 120 and took $127. Again, free money. I mean, it doesn't even mean anything to me anymore. I mean, it's just
Ambivalent money.
I've lost all value of money, and I'm not
Yeah.
bragging. I'm just telling you, once you start doing this, you start realizing it's like end game. I'm done with this planet. And the only reason, I mean, my joy is I'm a programmer and I love programming. So I love doing this stuff. If I think about it, 8 years in the Navy doing all their programming on all the projects I did there, then 2 years in nuclear engineering for the government, all the projects I did there, then 9 years at Microsoft, all the projects I did there. That was amazing stuff there. But then for the last 25 years, one project, just this auto trading.
Yeah.
And just one project I've been concentrating on. I haven't had to do 100 other projects for all different people. I'm concentrating on one thing: conquer the market and do it safely.
Yep.
And that's the beauty of it. You can't even hurt me. I don't even know what anybody could do to hurt this auto trader at all. It's just
Sorry, Ed. I cut Edward off. So Edward, finish the story because it is a great story.
Well, it's extraordinarily powerful, right? Raoul Paul. As a matter of fact, on the
is it Raoul Paul or RuPaul?
Raoul, not RuPaul. RuPaul's a drag queen.
Oh, no wonder I don't watch a lot of TV. Sorry.
RaulPaul. He's widely recognized and even recognized on that particular episode. Go look at it. It's great. As
he's an Goldman Sachs guy.
Right, old Goldman Sachs guy, and he's 100% crypto. And everybody pointed at him on the show and said, "You're the smartest guy in the crypto world." But he made a quote, and I went, "What did he just say?" He said, "True passive income without effort is a myth."
Yeah, he literally said that. Yeah.
I love when I hear that kind of stuff. I love it.
Yeah. Well,
and I hear it all the time. I mean, it's like, hey, I can't fix you, man. I mean, I don't know what to say.
Yeah, well, guess where we're going? To Raoul Paul. And go, hey, remember when you said this?
Yeah, and that's one of the barriers to people always say, well, what if everybody used an auto trader? Well, number one, that would never happen because too many people are too brainwashed. They really severely don't get it. And you could test me on that. Everywhere I go, I mention crypto. If I'm in a line and I got people in front of me and behind me, we're having a discussion about crypto in that line, wherever that line is.
Sure.
And in a grocery store, whatever. And the people are out of it. Like if I go to a UPS store, like, I buy from Amazon a lot, and which is cool because you can return stuff. It's real easy. So while I'm walking up to the UPS guy, to the guy behind the counter, as I'm getting closer, I'll say, so how's your crypto doing? As I'm carrying the box, I'll say, so how's your crypto doing? And I'll tell you, 9 times out of 10, the answer is, what's a crypto? I'm like, okay, you said enough. Thank you. Check another one down, and I'm hearing it, or they'll say stuff like, I got to read up on that more. One time I was getting new tires at Sam's Club, and you're waiting an hour there, right, for them to put the tires on the car. And I'm talking to a guy for almost an hour, and then right when he had to go, when he was leaving, he said, I don't know anything about this blockchain stuff. And as you walked away, and I was thinking to myself, I never mentioned blockchain one time in that conversation. So, he's just, I don't know what he's thinking, and that's the delusion that they have. They don't understand it all, and Attila, you're an expert at all this stuff, DeFi, and you even mentioned some terms. What do you call it? What are the different?
The alt.
Traditional.
TradFi. Yeah, TradFi, traditional finance. Yeah.
What that stuff is? I don't know what anybody's talking about.
It's the old school stuff.
Free. That's all I know.
That doesn't work that good anymore. Alan,
that's all I care about is grinding money out of the market for free, and the market is perfectly designed to let the rich get richer and leave the little guy behind. It's perfect. So we're doing what they're doing. The only difference is we're grinding, we're buying and selling, they're accumulating. So as the prices are going lower, the rich guys are loading up, they're buying it all, but they're not selling it. And we're taking advantage of it because we're buying and selling while it's going lower. We're actually going to make 10 times what they're going to make on a percentage. On a percentage basis, we're going to destroy them. However, you're not putting 30 million in either. So that's the only difference. The advantage they have is they're going to put a lot of money in. And get rich when this thing recovers, and it's gonna be beautiful because there's nothing but good news out there. The whole crypto market is all good news.
Yeah, we've just begun this whole party. It's going to be too much fun, gentlemen. I think we've been going at this over 2 hours.
I'm almost done with my second bottle.
Nice, and you haven't gotten up yet. Well, that's good.
No, I'm a two bottle presenter.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for tonight. I know there's some questions in there that I missed, but we'll have you guys back soon. And I kind of got to get back to my regular Thursday night programming. But the last 2 weeks have been so informative. And I think that we're going to do many shows together in the future. We are providing, that's what this whole Thursday night show is about. It's how to make money with money. This is one of the best items I've found. And because of the three gentlemen on the screen right here, I have a lot of faith in this product. And I have a lot of hope. And should I say, like, more than hope, a promise of a better future for all of us. If you can understand what this thing empowers people, if you can understand that putting some money into something and it's making you money while you sleep is really the key to living, like somebody said about what Warren Buffett said earlier today. Right. It's so important. You need to make money with your money, and they don't teach us that. Isn't it odd? I think it's so funny that they don't teach us two things in school. They don't teach us how to make money or even what money is, and they don't teach us anything about relationships.
Nope.
And both of those are probably the most important things in your lifetime.
Yeah.
And there's probably a reason for it. So, gentlemen, I want to thank all three of you, and I will have you guys back on from popular demand, I'm sure. So
awesome.
Thank you. We are so grateful for the opportunity to share. You hit the nail on the head. My strategy is I've got a bunch in my bag, but then I set aside money that is the fuel that fills my bag. If I'm making cash flow, the profit just goes to make my bag bigger. It's a great strategy. It's changed my life. I always fall all over Mr. Barsano. He's literally given me the opportunity to create a legacy for my children's children. And that's why we're so passionate about it. I personally want to say thank you, Alan, for recognizing that we're just providing value. When we first met you and spent some time talking with you, you are the perfect gentleman that puts people in a better place with every word that you share.
Yeah, and let me just echo that. And I already knew that going on 15 months listening to Alan, but I just want to make sure, Alan, your audience knows that when you decide to pull the trigger on the license, and I'm sure Alan will give all of you the link again, but we're here as a support mechanism and a support system for Alan's audience. So if you have any questions or need support, there are 2 support emails, and I don't know if we could post them here. I could certainly say it verbally. Alan, you probably have them. Yeah,
we do. Okay. They'll be in the show notes.
Okay, good. Fantastic.
Also, we could probably have Simon post them as well.
Just making sure.
He's in the chat.
Thank you again, Alan, for the time, and thank you for everybody in the audience listening.
And to get the discount, it's gobabytrade.com/The Staple Crew.
That is correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. And that'll lower the price from $44.99 to $34.99. $1,000 discount.
Yep.
Yeah, I love it.
And try to avoid these buttons here on the right. That's all manual trading.
Right.
Don't touch the settings.
No,
Amen to
please
that.
don't. All right, gentlemen.
Very good.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so much.
All right.